Hi, everyone in this world. Today, I'd like to start by a verse in the Bible. It's Romans 8, 28, 30. Actually, few verses. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. So I wanted to start by this verse because on my last video I said that I've been happy because of my experience with God. But I did not really give an explanation. You can see it in many other videos, but I wanted it to kind of summarize this maybe in one. So when he said, we know that all things work together for good to them that love God. Well, as you know, I did not know God before. And I had a life like anyone. I was kind of course, not that I was running after money or anything, but money was something important to me. In a sense that I thought I will not be able to live without. And today, because of God, I learned that this is not true. And this did not happen in one day, like I said. I explained it to you in the video before, that I've been led by the Spirit. This is exactly what happened to me. And the mystery of God, how finally I get to open my heart to Him, and that He came inside me, that I had His Spirit to lead me everywhere He wanted me to be. This is still a mystery. But when I say that I was happy, not for a minute, but for forever, today is actually true. I met God 5 years ago when I was in London. And I cannot say that these 5 years that I've been living since are not the happiest I could ever be in. I am really at peace, even so it's not easy. For example, I learned many things in these 5 years. Every day I read the Bible. So every day I learn. When I read the Bible, I open the Bible because I want to know more about the love of God. So this is how everything kind of makes sense when you talk to God, when you pray. What happened is that you get an answer. But because I read the Bible, I can understand even His answer better. Because the way He led me by His Spirit, so when He entered in my spirit, I could have said the first year I was led, before I will have said it's my intuition, because I did not know God, so I was saying, I just follow my intuition. You could say that comes from the heart. Anything that comes from the heart comes from God. But I didn't know that. So I said my intuition. He led me out of London. He led me in a forest. He led me in nature. And from there, I learned on his first book, which is the nature. We can see through nature. Even today, we damage the nature to a point that is incredible. But God made this nature around us absolutely beautiful. He made this world beautiful. We just damage it more and more because we don't have the right spirit in us. And we don't want to change that spirit. Because he says as well that we need to be conformed to the image of his Son. So to be conformed to the image of his Son, that we can be brothers all together with Jesus, it means that we have his character. It means, like I said before, that we are just, that we are doing the 10 Commandments. We have the law of God in our heart, and we follow Jesus, and we want to do these 10 Commandments every day. And when we try to do this, and when we want to walk with God, God really changed our heart in a way that I cannot understand, but I did live that. Such a change that I left my house, and I live now in a motorhome, and I'm helping others all the time. And even today, today I'm fasting. I'm fasting, and I did pray, because there is a lady that is 15 years old and that's in a coma and might die, and her family asked for prayers. And that's exactly what God wants. The difference between the Stephanie before and the Stephanie now knows God is that the Stephanie before will never have talked to God. We just try to do everything on our own. And today, I don't even ask any man or anyone around me. I just ask God to help. And I know he helps all the time, because he said it to us, that he wants the best for us. Once you have this in mind as well, it's very powerful to know that every single situation that you are in, God is in control. Because there is another spirit, is true. There is a Satan spirit. But God is always in control. Satan cannot do anything. He can tempt you, but he cannot create. God can create. Satan can tempt you, can ask you, give you a lot of thoughts that are not right, but he cannot push you to go through this thought or act on it. That will be your decision. God never imposes anything. So he will just, by love, he will just ask you to open your heart so he can work in you to do all the righteous things that is like he wants us to do. And